everyone, welcome to Workforce Gaming. I am Brad, here with Doug.
Hey.
I think this is one we were both really looking forward to just because of the history behind this game, which is sort of the sea. So if you're not quite familiar with this is by Giant Squid, who come from the team that made Journey and then followed that up with Abzu and the Pathless.
Yeah.
So if you like your weird wandering around indie games, this is, top tier stuff that these guys have made before. And I have to say, Sword of the Sea is excellent.
It is. Like, they are the best at doing this particular type of game. Like,
yes.
It's a really cool game because you can just see like the evolution. It is like very truly the culmination of all the games they did before, which I think is both really cool. And one of the reasons I don't know if I liked it as much as the other ones, but it's pretty sick. Yeah, it's just really cool. It's just like they're just so experts at making this type of game, this sort of like wandering around, good music. You're gonna feel some stuff, and it's all within like 2 or 3 hours, which is great.
Yes, always a plus if your game's under 3 hours in my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm interested that you didn't like it as much because I think I liked it more than Abzu. I liked it more than Pathless. I don't know if I like it. I mean, Journey's like a whole another deal, so I don't think I liked it as much as Journey, but I liked it more than like the actual Giant Squid games. And I think a lot of that came at the end, so maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later because the end is really what put this over for me. But just the way that you go through this is you're basically kind of flying around on like on a sword, not like a sword, but you're flying around on a sword, and as you unlock things, like the world kind of starts transforming. So it looks very Journey when you start. You're just in a big sandy desert. But then as you're doing these different things, the world slowly, like, feel bad if you haven't played these games, turns into Abzu, where you've got all these sea creatures flying around you. So you go from like this, again, very clear, obvious transition between their two games there of Journey to Abzu. And it's incredibly beautiful. Some of the shots this game has of just sea creatures kind of floating around in this kind of like big watery oasis in the middle of a desert in the opening area. It is so good looking, and just the way that they kind of blend those things together is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I love the aesthetic. Like, I think of all the games, it's definitely like one of the strongest aesthetic to it. And I think the thing that's just like really cool is that it has that Journey, like desert, like literally, I think almost literally, the desert from Journey, but just like sort of like undulate. It's like this moving desert that's like undulating that looks like waves, and then as you progress, it turns into waves. It's just like a really neat looking aesthetic. That's just like, it looks really cool. I think that the issue I had with the game though is because you said, it starts with Journey and then turns into Abzu, and I think with this game and like Giant Squid in general, it's like they made peanut butter and then they made jelly and then they made a marshmallow whip or whatever, and you're like waiting for the next big thing, and then like this one is just like we combine that all together. It's like, okay, like
and
everything
make
I was
a pretty
playing
damn good sandwich. Like
it is, but it's not like a new thing. It just felt like, though, this is a really cool culmination of these things, both like aesthetically, the music, everything like that. But it felt like it wasn't bringing like a ton new to it, and I think that's kind of thing. Like I felt a little bit disappointed. I mean, mind you, this is like minor disappointment. Like especially if you've never played any of these games, like this would just be utterly mind blowing. I just think it's like it felt a little too familiar. But it was kind of cool of them kind of bringing all those games together. It felt like kind of like the conclusion to this like Giant Squid series. Yeah. In a kind of a neat way that I really did enjoy. Badoop. This channel is Patreon supported. If you like what you hear, you can go over to our Patreon, where you'll get bonus audios as well as influence some of our upcoming videos. Back to our review. Badoop.
Yeah, I think the thing that was new for me and one of the things that I liked was just the moving through the world. I feel like this had the best movement out of all of them. I went back and played Abzu fairly recently just to kind of screw around with it for a minute to try and remember exactly what it was. And I was like, oh, okay, this is some underwater controls here. Like, okay, like it's fine, but we're swimming underwater. And Pathless had some really good movement in it too. But this just, everything felt so fluid, and just the way you kind of get like some of that Tony Hawk feel while you're going through like half pipes and stuff like that. And it was just this really weird blend of movement into this type of game, and I thought that was kind of the new thing for me. I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. This is the best feeling one of those, I think, in my mind.
Oh yeah, I mean, like the momentum of like it is kind of like a funny idea. It's like, what if we did Journey but you put a skateboard in it? But like they did that so well.
Awesome.
I think the momentum and like the speed at which you get going in that game is like just like not unprecedented, but just like you go so freaking fast. And the
Yeah.
game is, while it's only 3 hours long, it's like these huge areas that really let you like really get going and bursting in speed. So I really love that of just like, okay, my character can go fast and I need to travel long distances and it's really fun. And you're doing like kick flips and stuff along the way. I think though it's just like because your character's on a skateboard doing kick flips, it's hard to get like too emotional about this game with like certain scenes. Like there is like that sort of like journey-ishness of like, oh, this is the sad part, but it's like I was just doing like 3 or 4 kick flips and like 360 spins. It's like I couldn't get into that like mode of like that I'm usually in with these games. But again, it's like I don't think it's like to a detriment necessarily because it is just like a super fun game to play as a result. I think it's just like it felt a little bit more those styles were clashing a little bit, kind of in an interesting way, I think. But it was a little bit hard to get into like that sort of journey mode when you're doing kick flips.
I do think part of that too is I don't feel like this one hit as hard as like Journey and Abzu.
No. Yeah.
And I think that it feels more lighthearted just in general. I think between the movement that you're not having these. I think Journey and Abzu had some moments where it's like, oh, like gut punches almost like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And this has some great scenes. This has some good moments. But I don't think it's to that level of like emotional feeling that you're getting out of these. There are definitely some. There's a couple that stick out in my mind for sure.
Yeah.
But as a total package, I feel like Journey and Abzu, you just kind of had that like every 20, 30 minutes, like, whoa. Yeah. And this, it's more the like, okay, what if we space those out and you had like 3 of them? Probably maybe 5 of them. And it's like first hour, second hour, and then 2 or 3 at the end. And in between there, you're just kind of skateboarding around having a good time in some beautiful environments.
It feels a lot more like literal than the other games too, because like I've replayed Journey maybe 5 times. Like I try to play like once every like 2 or 3 years, because like every time I replay the game I feel a little bit differently about that and like how the story is going, because it's like it was fun like recently. So I played Journey when it first came out and I played it recently and like the servers were around but there's just nobody around, so like that was kind of its own unique thing of like, oh, Journey's time has kind of passed and I play this game by myself and how do I feel about the story. And I feel like this story, it's like it doesn't feel super deep. It feels like very, very literal of like what's going on. And it kind of reminded me like, I want to say positive and negative, like Kingdom Hearts, especially in the finale stuff. It has like a really cool finale, but it's not like a really cool emotional finale. It's just like a really cool, like what's happening in the plot. It just felt like a very literal plot of what's going on. I actually think that's the Giant Squid games, because it's the art director and the music director. I think there's always that sort of story piece that's like missing a little bit, where it doesn't feel as, it just feels like it doesn't, not superficial, but like it just doesn't feel as like, I don't know, like what you take away personally from it, like Abzu and sort of compared to Journey, where I felt like that was like a deeply emotional game. Even now replaying it feels like a deeply emotional game.
Yeah, and I think that's one of those things where it goes into expectations coming in. You're coming into this game expecting those emotional moments, and I think once you hit the end of that 3 hours, you're like, oh, it's just this. That's all. Okay, that's kind of cool for what it is. I think because I had the opposite effect where at the end I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I'm loving this. This is some just crazy over-the-top nonsense. I'm loving it. They did some very cool things gameplay-wise. Just everything about that ending was so good to me that it did the opposite for me where I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, you don't need me to sit down and go like, okay, credits, let's take a 15-minute processing break here to think about the existential being of myself. And instead no, that was, to your point, Kingdom Hearts-esque, where it's just, wow, that was crazy cool and different. What's going on? Cool, that happened. Great. Okay, game over. Sweet. That was fun.
Yeah, it's funny because like I really like the story in the Pathless as well, because even that one is a little bit more little. So this kind of, I feel like this was like a little bit down in story, but again, like the music is like incredible in this one. Like I think I don't know, I felt like the music was probably the strongest of all the games of this one for sure. Like just like that soundtrack. It was funny. My dad was playing this game as well, and he's like, "Wow, it's the first time I didn't want to mute the music." I was like, "Okay, great." Which is like my dad mutes the music for every single game. I don't know why, but he's like, no, I wanted to keep it on. It's like, that's how good it is, because my dad did not want to mute this game.
Should be like a new like Game Awards category, like games my dad didn't mute. Like that's how you know that you should win sound design and music, like, and score is for that right there.
Yeah, it's a cool game. I kind of liked how it brought all the mythos together as well, and this sort of like, okay, no, like this does sort of take place somewhere within Abzu and Pathless and the Journey, and it's just kind of neat as it was sort of like bringing in all those mythos stuff together, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's a really cool thing to get every couple of years, just one of these games, and just see kind of
Mm-hmm.
that extra step and where we're going. Whether it's from Abzu to Pathless, just adding in more movement, and then from Pathless to this, just kind of again, kind of your point, bringing everything together for this culmination of them. It's a very cool set of games. Giant Squid does great work. I absolutely loved it. I think probably one of my favorite games so far of the year. I think it's really
Sure.
really cool, and wait 3 or 4 years for the next one because there's nobody else really doing this type of thing, at least at this level of quality.
Yeah.
When we are Workforce Gaming, you can subscribe to our channel, leave a comment below. There's a link to support us on Patreon as well. We'll see you later.
Bye.